Well, hello again, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Alarming Antiques. On this episode 4 of Alarming Antiques that is currently being filmed in my garage that needs reorganizing, I've got a massive score here for you. This is the episode 4 score. But before we look at the episode 4 score, we need to look at some of the other stuff I got. As everyone knows, I have an interest in the Western Clock Manufacturing Company and their line of products. Here we see two Westclox silver bells here. These are the single key pull or time and alarm. You pull the time. What the heck am I saying? You pull the knob out to set the time, and you just turn it when it's pressed in to set the alarm hand here. Now, these two silver bells aren't in great shape. They both run. They both have the same movement in them. Obviously, this one's a little later than this one. And inside these clocks, this is the movement they've got. As you can see, it's repairable. It's screwed together. And the reason why I got these is because of the movement, not because of the case. These movements are fully compatible with, and this is the next item out of the box here, these single key Style 7 baby bends. For those of you watching my Westclox Charmer series, you'll know that I wanted to get a parts baby bend for my single key baby bend. Well, here's that parts one, and yes, this has the press fit clips in it. And this carries the same movement. These all have the same movement, basically, I'm pretty sure. If you look at the key arrangement, they're all the same. One minor difference on the actual baby bend is instead of being aluminum, like these all are, this is brass. I mean, the top and bottom plate of the movement are actually brass. Otherwise, it's the absolute identical design. And if you're wondering why this one's alarm hammer looks a little screwed up, this one's a little bit broken. The arbor snapped off here, so that's why it's missing that. But other than that, yeah, it's the exact same. And I'll just show you on the baby bends here quick. So as you can see, you pull it out, set the time, do that, and then you just leave it in to set the alarm. So it's a really simple design. And going not too far off topic here, the Style 8s, which I don't have one handy. This is a super late Style 8 baby bend here. This one here is the same as the other ones, except it has a center knob. Instead of just you pull one knob to set the time and alarm, they give you another knob. And that whole spring-loaded mechanism that pulls the knob, it lets you pull the knob back, that is totally gone. But because of this being basically the same with one small little change, these are interchangeable. Sure, you may have one extra hole sticking through the Style 8's bell, but what the heck's the difference? Some of these Style 8s come with, and this is an example of one, cheap riveted together movements, unlike this one here. Well, I mean, once again, these are the same, but this one's a little better because you can actually take it apart. This one's riveted together, total junk, plastic knobs. Pretty sure the winding key for it was plastic as well. I want to replace as many of these with ones from these silver bell clocks here, because I mean these are nothing to look at. This one more so than this, but yeah, I'd like to give a Style 8 some proper movement. And this isn't every Style 8. This is the ones from like 1970 onward, probably. Or maybe 1975 onward. I'm not really sure. So yes, these three are parts clocks. Greg, seriously, you forked over $15 to get some 3 Westclox parts clocks? Well, the box isn't empty yet. Not too far away from Westclox, we've got an Ingram alarm clock from the 50s at some point. This one's kind of got a mid-century modern style going. I think this one's one of their cheaper ones, though, because it appears our alarm tripping mechanism doesn't work. This is how you'd use, or I'm sorry, that works, but the alarm, it won't move the hand. This is our alarm hand here. It won't move either way you turn the knob, so that's not good. You can almost guarantee you'll probably see this getting serviced on the channel at one point. And does this run like the other three? Yes, it does. And let's hear that alarm, shall we? Look at this switch here. At least on the really cheap ones, they give you an actual like knob and whatnot to pull. But on Ingram, just decided to give up here and just give you this thing here. This tab feels like it's very flimsy. Anyway, let's trip this alarm, shall we? There we are. Not the prettiest sound in the world. And just for reference sake here, here's the Baby Ben. Here it's set to the loud function here, because you have a soft and loud option on these. Silver Bell metal case. Hang on, I gotta set it. Oh, come on. There we go. And the Silver Bell plastic case. This one sounds slightly nicer. And just so there's no confusion, these two parts movements did not come from this box here. So, $15, huh? We're not doing too bad off Facebook Marketplace. I'm telling you guys, you can get all kinds of cool stuff off there. And last but by no means least, out of the box, we've got this Prim alarm clock. This looks like it's English, I believe. Might be German or English. Oh, what does that say? Oh, I can't read that in the bottom. I think it's German. From what I can see here, it looks like it's probably German. Anyway, this clock is already being, well, it's funny, you know, I brought it home and then sold it off to my brother's girlfriend. She had a look at it and she absolutely loved it in the first 10 seconds. So I'm going to service it up and send it on its way with her. So, yeah, I didn't really have an interest in this clock or the Ingram as much. It was more the Westclox parts. Because really, I'm pretty sure these Baby Bens alone can go for way more than 15 bucks. So yeah, I didn't think I did too bad here. But anyway, let's see if this one actually wants to run as is. Nope, doesn't want to run at all. Okay, let's hear that alarm. Whoops. Let's hear that alarm here on this one. This is probably from the 50s or 60s, I'm guessing by just the overall style of it. And let me see here. There doesn't appear to be an alarm on and off. It's just you wind up the clock and it rings at some point whenever you set it. So, yeah, they didn't bother giving you an on and off for this one. Oh, I'm sorry, there is an alarm off. It's this button here. So you press that to turn it off, but as for turning it on, you just have to reset this. So, it's not a bad design. Do you really need an alarm on switch? Whatever, it works for all these other ones, so I'm not going to complain too much. Anyway, this Prim does have a luminous dial. There is luminous paint on this. Unlike the Ingram here. All the Westclox do, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. This was not bad for $15 getting all these little clocks here. But is it the episode 4 score? Well, this stuff's all handy to have, but I wouldn't call it the score compared to what I've got. I'll show you the score here in a minute, but first some backstory. So this score here is the reason why I even knew about this little $15 clock box of parts, or whatever you want to call it here anyway. This was the first thing I saw, and at first I didn't know what to make of it. I wasn't sure if I wanted it or not. The guy wanted $100 for it. And for these types of clocks, and yes, it is a clock that you're about to see, I figured, well, $100, I mean, it's in really poor condition. So, I can't do $100. I made him the offer of $20, and what did he do? He accepted it without negotiation. Obviously, I was the first one to even make an offer on it, and what was he going to do with it? It was just probably sitting in his garage. Anyways, viewers, are you ready to see it? 3, 2, 1. There it is. Greg, I can hear you saying, what the heck is that dilapidated wooden box with a clock face? What even is that thing? Good thing I didn't pay more than 20 bucks for it, eh? Well, if we look at our dial here, what do we see? International Time Recorder. International Business Machines Company. Toronto, Ontario. Huh. Hey, this is IBM. This is an IBM clock here. And it's a time recorder? What the heck is that? I don't even know what that is. I wish I was joking there, viewers. I actually don't know all the ins and outs of a time recorder or what it does. But hopefully by the end of the series that I'm going to most definitely do on this clock, we will know what a time recorder is. Yes, viewers, this is an IBM time recording device. Wow, that was terrible. IBM time recording device. We've got all 4 doors on this thing. There were 2 doors on this side to open up, and 2 doors on this side. Also, the top is, I know it's painted green. Let's take these panels off, shall we? These aren't even screwed on. The actual top side of those boards is this side. Maybe the green was put on there sometime in 1968 or so, just to say this side down or whatever. I don't know, maybe it was some Nimrod just screwing around with a paintbrush, who knows. This here was definitely a Nimrod screwing around with a paintbrush. Look what happened to this poor door here. How about this, viewers? Instead of screwing around looking at specific paint stains, how about we look at all 4 doors here? As you can see, they are equipped with their original hinges. All of them have the hinges. Oh no, that one doesn't. Well, all the other 3 do, but anyway. The original lock is on this one, and as for that one, it's missing its lock. That one has been stripped of all its hardware. That is really unfortunate. As for the veneering or staining, I know that one definitely has veneer on it. My goodness, viewers, I'm not even going to pretend. I know nothing about woodworking. Looks like I might have to call up Abbott from Time for Clocks because someone here knows what's going on while I don't. Or I'll have to question literally anyone who repairs clocks in the GHC, and I've got one guy in mind right now, Zane. We'll see what he has to say on these things. Moral of the story is, I know basically nothing. I know some of you won't think that's a shocker at all. Anyway, here's our hinges here. They're looking rusty and dilapidated. As for the one door lock we do have, and I most definitely do not have a key for that. Let's have a look at the lock. Maybe Andrew from the Watchworks can tell me something about that. Is that a serial number on there? 61, what is that? 6111. I don't know. Also, it looks like this thing is in the unlocked position, so I'm probably just gonna leave it like that. Funny, viewers, it looks like I might need a parts clock for this clock. It's kind of ironic considering this really is a parts clock. But I'm at least gonna try to fix this because, I mean, it's a piece of history here. And from what I understood from the guy I bought it from, he got it from a guy who was as clueless as he was, but there was some kind of idea going on that this thing might have been in use on the railway on the Canadian Pacific or Canadian National in a small town near me. So that's pretty interesting. Anyway, I think that's enough on the doors. They need work. At least all the glass is in them, though. As for our rotting wooden box here, I'm not sure how this whole cabinet, can it even be disassembled, this thing? I mean, the front, and we'll get to that in a minute, the front does come off. There are screw holes here. The screws are long gone, so the front can come off. But as for the rest of this, like this is cracked right here. I don't know how I'm supposed to fix that, or I don't know, the veneering on this or the stain. Well, I guess it could be stained fairly easily. The back comes off. There's some screws here, and the bottom I don't know about. I don't know how much this thing is really gonna come apart cabinet-wise. Greg, stop moping around the cabinet. Let's see the movement. Well, when you first look at this thing, you see a massive drum and a cam or some kind of wheel over there. Okay, let's have a better look here. We've got a, oh yeah, and by the way, in size, this thing rivals a small coffee table. It is huge. As you can see here up the back, we got a gear there. We got this drum, I have no idea what this does. A belt, which doesn't look like, oh no, that's not the belt. Here's the belt up here. This belt doesn't look like it's absolutely ruined. So we might be able to use that again, and I have no idea where I'd get a parts one anyway. We've got the days of the week. This mechanism here looks like it moves, it slides back and forth on this. I'm not sure. Up here we got, interesting, we've got numbers here, 48, 100, 102, 104. I have no idea what the heck, 108. I'm clueless. Looks like this device here does something regarding these numbers. Does this let it go? Oh, look at that. We can actually move this a little bit. Of course, you don't want to be playing around with this too much. You might break something. Oh, these slide in. Hey, I better not mess with that, actually. We could be disturbing some original arrangement of these little tabs here, or whatever the heck they're called. I don't know. But yeah, these move in and out. Huh. And then up there, we're gonna get a better look at the front, but here's, I don't know what the heck, this is one big piece of cast iron. We got a bell there. The clock movement is up there. I can see some rust on one of the springs. Yes, this is a 2-spring movement, viewers. IBM, I'm a little disappointed. You gave me a tin bezel, okay? So that since this isn't screwed on, we can just slide it off. There's some sort of spring mechanism thing there. I don't know what the heck that's all about. Looks like something mounts there, but it's gone. Great start. And here is the front of our clock here. As you can see, its cast iron base is screwed in. So I was thinking, for serviceability purposes, I'd unscrew those screws there and slide it out the front. It looks like there's enough clearance overhead to do that. So, yeah, I'm gonna be pulling this thing out the front here. I'm hoping this thing comes apart in sections because this is a 2-spring clock movement right here with the hour hand still attached, which is nice. Oh, gee, I almost forgot. On a quick side note here, this, and this all hold something. That something is this wheel temporarily hanging on the wall here. Now, this thing would have had a lever on the front of it, and we've got all kinds of number. I don't know what the heck these are for. I don't understand this clock or how it works. Please, somebody help me here. That mitten isn't part of it. We may not have the lever for this, but we have the wheel, so that's a start. And this lever would have mounted right here, which goes into the clock here. There's some kind of, there's all these gears here going all sorts of different directions. It's really not that complicated when I'm looking at it now. I'm just wondering how this is all supposed to, how you can dismount the movement from this cast iron frame here. That's the general synopsis of this thing. It's all, everything here is in a cast iron frame here. This big frame thing, which holds it all together, I guess. And I'd love to, you know, I hope it comes apart in sections. I don't know how IBM would have built this otherwise. I hope that's a better look here for you at this. Yeah, this is going to be one heck of a repair series, isn't it? The bottom has nothing. There's our drum here. I don't know what this is for. There's our back and forth mechanism here. Looks like we stopped on Wednesday here. We gave up. And I don't know, is this spring driven? There's 2 springs here. I highly doubt this is, there's no strike in this clock. It's just time only, and then the rest of that other spring would drive the rest of this, I would think. Also, here's a problem, viewers. Our escapement seems to be dislodged. Dislodged from where exactly? I don't see a pivot for it. Well, that's my problem. I have no idea where the escapement goes. I don't know if this clock is missing parts here. I don't know if That screw right there might have held the escapement mechanism, which of course is possibly gone now. I'm not sure. Who knows, viewers? We might not be able to repair this thing. I've just confirmed our escapement, part of our escapement is definitely missing. Look at the other side. You can see there's one pivot for it, and then the other one would have been over here. That hole probably just for stabilizing it, or stability. So we're missing part of our escapement. Great, viewers, just great. If I really can't get it to work, at least I got it for only $20. I mean, these clocks are fairly rare. I figured I'd take a chance on it, you know? The doors, the wheel, the front, and anything that might be floating around. It's doubtful, though. I didn't hear anything rattling around in this thing. Those are the only parts that we've got for this clock. So it looks like this might be a donor. That's kind of sad. I wonder if there's any. I wonder if any more of these will ever come up for sale again, because if they do, for a good price, this might have to be the donor. Yeah, that's a real shame about that escapement. As you can see, my optimism level has dropped. If you're missing parts, then, you know, this is one of the things where one spring is gone or something and just the whole thing doesn't work. So yeah, viewers, can anyone come up with any ideas? Is there hope for this IBM time recorder yet? Does anyone have any information or parts for this thing? Please contact me in the comments here below, or join the Gregola Horology Club here on Discord, and I'd be happy to talk to you if you know anything about this, because I can tell you right now, I don't. Well, of course, other than the clock itself, I should hopefully know something about that. So viewers, I'm basically pleading with you at this point. Will you help me get this running? I sure hope so. As for when I'm actually going to start working on this, I'm not sure, but you guys are definitely going to know when. The first order of business is obviously getting this thing out of the case and evaluating it from there. So anyways, viewers, this is the episode 4 score. I still think I did pretty good on this considering how rare these can be. And also, a problem is, because they're rare, yeah, this is the parts clock, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I can fix this one, but we'll see. We'll see what everyone comes up with in the comments. Can anyone find any sort of parts for these that are actually not under $1,000? Because I know one of these restored is worth up in the thousands here somewhere. Although, is anyone actually going to get $1,000 for this? There's a website that I'll link below which has a restored time recorder almost identical to this one except made in the United States, and they want $1,000 or so for it. Who knows if it'll ever sell. Anyways, viewers, I'll give you one final look over this thing. And, yeah, I hope someone has something, because I know I don't, regarding this. But either way, whether you do or don't, I thank you for watching this video, and I hope just as I kick the top. Anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video here, whatever that may be.